Good afternoon, everyone. It is an honor to be with you here today. We celebrate the hard work of 30 students and the mentors that have brought them to this point. Welcome to the Western Cape and Nedbank essay writing competition for 2021. To all of you here and watching from home, thank you for taking the first step in investing in South Africa's economy. Just a bit of house rules before we continue with the proceedings of today. We would just kindly request that all of you online, please mute your mics and place off your cameras for the duration of the proceedings and to our presenters, once you do start, you can obviously unmute and then place the camera back on. Here to provide a brief overview of the competition, we welcome Mr. Malcolm Boyson, Acting Chief Director of Public Policy Services within the Provincial Treasury. Mr. Boyson, together with 4 other officials from our respective partners, adjudicated our oral presentations. Mr. Boyson heads the think tank of Provincial Treasury Public Policy Services. This unit monitors and assesses the fiscal and economic environment within both the provincial government and, especially for him, local government, as well as the implication of government policies to the sector. Please welcome Mr. Malcolm Boyson.
Proceed. Good afternoon, everybody. Let me just start by saying that as the Western Cape government, through its education department and the Provincial Treasury, together with our partners, the Nedbank Foundation and the Nedbank Charitable Trust, we understand and acknowledge the crucial importance of developing youth in South Africa by empowering them with the necessary skills and resources, making them competitive for the job market. This competition, introduced in 2008 and 9, namely the Western Cape Essay Writing Competition, aimed to provide learners taking economics, mathematics, and accounting as school subjects with the opportunities to access bursaries in the fields of commerce by participating in the essay writing competition. Learners are invited to write an essay on a key topic relevant to the current fiscal and economic issues in South Africa. The topic hopes to stimulate thinking of our learners on these current issues in South Africa that us as government officials aim to address daily. It is further hoped that the initiative will better inform learners of finance and economic career opportunities to open them within the public and private sector. We unfortunately had to overcome certain stumbling blocks in relation to the agreement that had expired between Nedbank and the Western Cape government, but this is now out of the way, and which brought us to where we are today at 21st of October 2021, where we have managed to now host the ceremony. The Nedbank Essay Writing Competition project has been renewed in terms of the partnership for a further 3 years. We have, however, through the renewal of the MOA, shown a dedicated commitment towards youth development. Then, just with regards to our experiences for the 2021 competition, the class of 2021 was asked to critically evaluate and analyze the recently promulgated National Minimum Wage Act, by defining what this national minimum wage means through analyzing its implications for the economy, analyzing the various views as expressed by different political opposition parties and labor experts, including economists who argue for or against its promulgation, and suggesting alternative recommendations as a way of increasing demand for labor, which will ultimately drive economic growth and development, especially if the argument is against the promulgation of the Act. The essays which we once again evaluated were of a very high standard and assessed by a panel of public sector economists working within the provincial and local government budget offices at the Provincial Treasury. The essays were specifically considered to determine the extent to which learners understood the purpose and intention of the national minimum wage, the objective views of the topic, providing views from the respective stakeholders, including unions, political parties, and economists, and lastly, through recommendations given by showing the thorough research skills and knowledge gained by doing so in this assignment. The shortlisted essays were then adjudicated by a panel of 5 members consisting of experienced public and private sector practitioners within the finance and education fields. The adjudicators were Ms. Julinda Kantana, the DDG for Governance and Asset Management within the Provincial Treasury, and also then as serving as the chairperson. Then Ms. Glennis Schroeder, the Chief Educational Specialist, FET Schools and Curriculum from the Western Cape Education Department. Mr. Johannes Koza, the economist from Nedbank. Dr. Roy Haberman, the DG for Fiscal and Economic Services from Provincial Treasury. And lastly, myself. Please allow me then the opportunity to briefly share some of my sentiments stemming from my own experience as an adjudicator. Firstly, the essays were mostly of a very high technical standard, adhering to the conventional structural requirements and basic elements of an academic study, namely the title, abstract, introduction, literature review, methods, results, conclusion, and references, bibliography. And secondly, I was pleasantly surprised at the extent of which critical thinking on display were well articulated and supported by facts. To this end, credit must be given to our teachers who continuously guide and nurture our students. Ladies and gentlemen, they say that the youth is the leaders of tomorrow. From what I have seen in these essays, and also being a father myself, I would like to say by saying that the youth are already our leaders, and holding we as adults accountable for our actions. Having seen the levels of debate and constructive arguments in these essays, I have no doubt that the future is in good hands. In conclusion, I want to wish all matriculants the very best for their final exams. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Boyson, for those wise words and for the well wishes that you have for our students today. We now welcome our online speaker from Nedbank, Ms. Anal Bosman. Ms. Anal's career has spanned a wide range and spectrum of disciplines, which has also meant the accumulation of a wealth of knowledge in a variety of fields, including finance, operations, strategy, HR, marketing, and IT, to name but a few. She currently serves as the Group Managing Executive from Nedbank. Please, may we welcome our online guest from Nedbank, Ms. Bosman. Thank you.
And thank you for your welcome. What a privilege to present Nedbank here today at this essay competition with my colleague, Rima Moyo. We're sitting here in very empty offices in Sandton and wish that we could be there so that I could see your faces as opposed to talk to a Table Mountain picture. That is very hard. can tell you that. But thank you to everybody who has been involved, and I welcome the MEC of Finance and Economic Opportunities, Minister David Manier, the previously mentioned Linda Cantana, who's the DDGG and Asset Management, and then also Malcolm Boysons, who has spoken to us before. But most of all, I want to extend a very, very special welcome to the important guests today. Those amazing finalists are matrics of the 2020-21 Nedbank and the Provincial Treasury essay writing competition. Well done. A very well-deserved congratulations to each of you for making it to this point. As it has been mentioned before, a highly contested competition. Feedback has been that you've done an excellent job. I really want to congratulate you on that. Last year's essays question I thought was very, very tough. It has been debated in our country's best thinkers, but now we've also added your thoughts, the youth, and how welcome that is. And you were able to dig into the core of this matter, reflecting on many economic, social, and political complexities embedded in this topic. And this has been no small task, as you had to come to grips with a whole lot of information and opinions already in the public space, acknowledging them while simultaneously also revealing your own analysis. But your focus and confidence shone through. Well done. Today actually brings many, many memories for me. One, I studied economics, maths at school and university, so already that links to you very well. But most of all, I also entered an essay writing competition. That was, however, during my honours year at the University of Johannesburg. I participated in the Old Mutual Nedbank budget speech competition. I was sent to the finals, and like you sitting today, waiting for the winners to be announced. I became the first woman ever to win the competition, and my prize was a bursary to the Cambridge University in England, where I studied my master's degree. It changed my life, and I wish for each of you that this competition will do the same for today's winners. Thank you each for actually attempting and having the courage to do this daunting challenge and to believe in yourselves despite your daily challenges. Being prepared to challenge yourself is how you grow and realize your ambitions. Each of you must be very proud to be part of a rare group of people who embody this thinking. I'm certainly very proud of the 30 of you. These are the abilities we need in our future leaders. And I know that not winning will be a disappointment, but never forget what it took to be here today. The skills you have applied, what you've learned. Well done. You will be able to use it in the future. A little bit about Nedbank, how we value the youth and education. The country places a huge burden on our young people, as the futures are actually in your hands. But we do not want to leave you without tools, and this competition and others like it offer a great opportunity to develop your expertise in fields that are so relevant to our country. We are financial experts who do good for people, communities, and the environment. And Nedbank recognizes the importance of initiatives like this in developing our country. Through a range of other projects and initiatives, we offer some young people the vital support they need to pursue their aspirations, ambitions, and dreams. This ranges from significant financial assistance to projects such as NRF research chairs, as well as various science, technology, and innovations programs we support. We are passionate about maths and coding and robotics and data, and also support the Data Science Academy. It is so vital that we uplift and empower talented South African youth through this steady processes of bursaries and other ways to learn. In the 2020 year, we provided financial assistance to many, many students to help them acquire scarce skills that we need in our country. We also have a graduate program where these youth, once qualified, come to us for practical experience and that you can only acquire in the workplace. We are also proud supporters of the YES program, and are always so impressed with the candidates that join us. Why are we so passionate about the youth and your skills? We do not see the future of South Africa as a replica of what has been done in any other country. This is a great nation with its own set of challenges and its own unique path to take. The answer will not come from outsiders, but from within. They will come from the hearts and minds of the young people amongst us. And it's said that history has been shaped by the power of youth strength. We can only guide, shape, and harness that power. A special thanks to Western Cape Education Department and the Provincial Treasury, who've allowed us to continue this partnership in sponsoring this exceptional initiative. The amazing work is incredible. Once again, congratulations to all our finalists. I wish you so well, and I hope that the inspiration from the competition serves as an excellent launching pad for you in future. Best luck.
Thank you so much for that, Ms. Bosman. We also miss your presence here today. But thank you for sharing your journey with us today and for inspiring our youth to constantly overcome those challenges that we have faced daily. And thank you for also telling us about the different development programs available to our youth today. We will now have a short presentation of the certificates which will be presented to our 30 finalists. Thank you so much. Our keynote address will now be done by our MEC for Finance and Economic Opportunities, Mr. David Maynier. David has served for the past 10 years as a member of the National Assembly in Parliament. During that time, he has been a member on several committees, including the Standing Committee on Public Accounts. Minister Maynier, as the MEC for Finance and Economic Opportunities, works round the clock to grow the economy and create jobs, maintain stable public finances, and promote clean government within the Western Cape. Please welcome Mr. Maynier.
Thank you so much for that very kind introduction. I'd like to begin by really welcoming everybody to this Nedbank essay writing competition award ceremony, hosted, of course, by Nedbank, by Provincial Treasury, and of course the Western Cape Education Department. I must say to all our finalists, you must be so proud to have made it through to this stage of the competition. I also want to extend a very special and warm welcome, of course, to the parents and teachers who have supported our finalists. I left school 35 years ago, believe it or not, and yes, tomorrow I turn 53. But despite all those years, every time I go back to my hometown, which is in the Eastern Cape, I visit my maths teacher, who despite all these years is still Mr. Lunnan, not Ed Lunnan. And of course, I do that because he had such an enormous influence on my life. And so I hope that all our finalists treasure their teachers, who they may not know it now, will have an enormous influence on their lives way beyond matric. Let me say that we, of course, face enormous challenges. And of course, to tackle those challenges, we need new ideas, new ways of thinking, fresh energy. And that's why I'm so excited about this competition and all our talented finalists, because you bring those new ideas, that new way of thinking and that fresh energy, which is what we require to solve the wicked problems that confront us in the public service here in South Africa. The essay question, I think, is relevant, not because it is about the minimum wage necessarily, but because it's such a great example of the wicked problems that we confront, or that confront us in the public service, where there are really no easy options. The minimum wage, more income, more consumption, more growth, traded off against possibly fewer jobs, less consumption, and less growth. Localization, more spending, more demand, possibly more jobs, versus alternatively higher prices and maybe less service delivery. Or with budget constraints, more teachers, but fewer classrooms, or more classrooms but fewer teachers. These are the kinds of wicked problems that we face in the public service, in which we need new ideas, new energy, and new ways of thinking to solve. And that is why I am so proud of this competition, and of course our finalists here at the essay writing competition. 50 years ago, in fact 51 years ago now, at the University of Cape Town, Robert Kennedy delivered a great and famous speech called A Great Ripple of Hope. And what he focused on, and this is pertinent to young people, he focused on what he called the 4 dangers that young people like yourselves have to overcome. The first danger he identified was futility, the belief that there is very little that one person can do when we face the enormous challenges that confront us. And he said, and I quote, "Few ills have the greatness to bend history itself, but each of us can work to change a small portion of events. And in the totality of all those acts will be written the history of a generation." He went on to say it is in all these diverse acts of courage that we are able to set forth a tiny ripple of hope that can reverse oppression and resistance and make great strides in relation to change. He went on to say that the second challenge is expediency, the belief that hopes and idealism have no place in the practical, in getting things done. He talked about a third danger, timidity, describing moral courage as a rarer commodity than bravery in battle or great intelligence. And his fourth danger he identified, of course, was comfort, the temptation to follow the easy and familiar path of personal ambition and possibly financial success, rather than to confront the challenges that we face. And so I really hope that all our participants don't succumb to those 4 dangers: the danger of futility, of expediency, of timidity, and of course of comfort, the temptation to follow the easy path. What I hope is that you will stand up for an ideal, that you will act to improve the lot of others, that you will strike out at injustice, and that you, in your own way, will, as Robert Kennedy said 50 years ago, send forth your own ripple of hope in South Africa. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Mr. Menier. Truly, I can say as a student of not 35 years ago, I too have a few teachers that I can look back to with positive thoughts and encouragement. And I hope that one day in the future, our students will also look back to their mentors that have gotten them to this place and also have the same sort of appreciation, and also to look at the bigger picture and to also try and improve our society, that is the South African economy. But thank you so much, Mr. Menier. We will now have our award presentation for the 12 bursary winners. So we'll just have that screen pop up in no particular order. Shante Apples from George Secondary School. Congratulations. Kaylin Potgieter from Outeniqua High School. Congrats. Cassidy Wilson from Parklands College. Jana Grobla from Parklands College. Aviwe Ncwele from Thembalethu High School. Caltha Jacobs from Paarl Girls High School. Nina Marie Anker from Paarl Girls High School. Alicia Joubert from Bloemhof High School. Congrats. Justyne Webb from Tygerberg High School. Shane Voorges from Settlers High School. Mischike Malgas from Klein, Nederberg High School. And Anine Keel from Brackenfell High School. Congratulations to our winners. Congratulations. We will now have a short video advert on the bursary program, and following that we will have a short speech from Mr. Sibabalwe Ncwele. He will be providing us with a bit of experience on his bursary receipt and graduate internship within the Provincial Treasury. Thanks. Following the video.
Creating jobs and providing opportunities for our youth is a key priority of the Western Cape government. Since 2008, the Provincial Treasury has offered bursaries to young people pursuing careers in economics, accounting, finance, auditing, and related fields.
Through these bursaries, the Provincial Treasury aims to create a talent pool of young individuals with scarce skills to fill in-demand jobs and thereby ensuring the financial well-being of our Western Cape departments and municipalities.
If you have passion, energy, and want to make a positive contribution to society, applying for Western Cape Government Bursary will empower you to study a degree and give you the opportunity to gain practical work experience to kickstart your career. I took control of my future and applied for the opportunity to undertake my Bachelor of Commerce studies. Now I'm gaining practical real-world experience and developing myself as a working professional.
After completing my honours degree, I started my internship at the Provincial Treasury, gaining on-the-job experience and learning new things every day. To apply, you need to be between the ages of 17 and 35, be a current matriculant or studying towards undergraduate or postgraduate degree. You must reside within the Western Cape, and you also need to be pursuing a full-time degree.
Well, for more information, you could visit our website or visit one of the Western Cape Government walking centres. Your future is within your reach. All you have to do is take advantage of the opportunity and apply for a bursary.
Applications open in July and close by 30 September. Investing in our youth by creating opportunities through bursaries and tertiary education. Better together.
Thank you so much. We will now welcome Mr. Ncwele.
Thank you very much, Nina. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm here to talk about my experience, if I may put it that way, for being awarded the bursary, and then also studying, and then pretty much after that working for the Provincial Treasury. I then studied, firstly, just briefly, I then studied at UWC. For my undergrad, and I think we started the same year. Yeah, at PT. We started the same year. But I think the best advice that I can give you is don't be what's the word? Don't be relaxed or too relaxed at varsity, because varsity is very hard. Very, very hard. Have a certain group of people that you can study with, that you can also form study groups, ensure that you ensure that you have fun, but also ensure that you are very good at your studies and you have lots of fun. I would say lots of fun, but also pass when you having that fun. Not too much fun. Yes, thank you, Maniete. With regards to my then job experience working for the Treasury, I then was assigned to a very, very good supervisor in Mr. Elton Johannes, and then I think I'm on my third year now. We pretty much do a lot of work. It might not seem like a lot of work, or it might seem that it's just a tiny drop in the ocean. But it is valuable work, and it contributes to the public sector, and also then I would say it is pretty much valuable because I think we're presenting to you, Meneer, on the first week of November on our cost containment and our other stuff. But yeah, that's our, that's most of our work. But yeah, when you get to varsity and you pass on after varsity, you get to the working life. I think it's quite important to not limit yourself. Pretty much ensure that you make good relations with everyone. Everyone at PT is very approachable. You can literally walk into the HOD's office and talk to him about anything and everything. Also to boss lady, Miss Kantana. I think we have conversations before COVID, sorry. Before COVID, we used to have conversations every week or so. But yeah, the Provincial Treasury is quite a good organization. Also in the Western Cape, we boast as the best PT in the country, so that's also props. So it's very good working for the Treasury, and I know I've enjoyed my 3 years there, and I want to work for more than those 3 years because I've grown to love the public sector. Even though I thought it was going to be a big step in pursuing that particular route, but I think I have grown to love the public sector, and it is in a way you are making a difference, even though it might seem small, but in the greater scheme of things, it is quite a big difference that you are what's the word, that you are contributing towards. But yeah, those are just my words. So but thank you very, very much. Thank you for the opportunity, and once again, please do ensure that you do well in varsity and be wide awake. Thank you. Chom chom. Thank you, Chom.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ncwele. I think another thing we must do is focus when you're in university. Have focus, but also learn to have a little bit of fun along the way. And for our students now, you have been nurtured up until this point, and soon you'll be making your own journey throughout life. So make the right choices. And now a few words from Miss Kantana, my own mentor when I actually got to the Treasury all those years ago. Ms. Kantana is a long-standing official who has been involved with the competition since its inception as the Deputy Director General of Governance and Asset Management within the Provincial Treasury. She was the chair of the adjudication committee for this year's competition, and she will now present the top 3 winners of this competition. Please let me welcome Ms. Kantana to the podium.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon to our esteemed guests, as well as the very important people that has brought us here together this afternoon, the learners. When we met the last time, I said, we'll be in touch. So we are being in touch, and today is the day, and it gives me great pleasure to be able to stand here today in front of you and then award these bursaries. Then I would also just like to, before we kick off the proceedings, and I'm just trying to, are you sitting on the edges of your seats? How are you feeling? But I'd also just like to take the opportunity to thank all of you for participating in the 2021 competition. This has been initiative that the Provincial Treasury in particular, together with our partners in terms of the bank, Nedbank, as well as the Department of Education, takes great pride in. I'm sure my previous speakers and the Minister has already shared those sentiments with you as well. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, our top 3 winners for the Nedbank essay writing competition for 2021. And I'm going to start with the 3rd place. In 3rd position, Miss Alicia Joubert from Bloemhof High School. Can we get a round of applause, please? Our 2nd position is Mischike Malgas from Klein Nederberg High School. Congratulations, Mischike. And our winner, that was in our 2nd position, our winner of the Nedbank competition this year is Aviwe Ncwele from Thembalethu High School. Congratulations.
Congratulations to all of our winners. We will now have streaming in Mr. Brent Walters, our HOD from the Western Cape Education Department. He will be providing us with words of appreciation to the curriculum advisors and the teachers of the finalists. Mr. Brent Walters has recently been appointed as the head official at the Department of Education after serving for years as the head for the Cultural Affairs and Sports Department. Mr. Walters actually started out as a teacher in the late 1980s. So we hand over to you, Mr. Walters.
Thank you very much, Master of Ceremonies. Thank you very much. Minister of Finance and Economic Opportunities, Minister Mania, Mr. Malcolm Boyson, Acting Chief Director, Public Policy Services, Provincial Treasury, Ms. Cantana, the MC, Mr. Nal Boyson and Mr. Rima Moyo of Nedbank, members of the Nedbank corporate team, education and treasury officials, teachers, parents, learners, ladies and gentlemen. I am delighted to have been here today to recognize and celebrate excellence in mathematics, accounting and economics, 3 subjects that are considered key to the successful expansion of any developing economy. Indeed, it has been a wonderful afternoon and I wish to congratulate all of our award winners, finalists, educators and schools that were represented here. The caliber of competition was high and this is something that we should all be proud of. Question on the National Minimum Wage Act posed to you was not easy. It required thorough research and deep analysis. And I think that is why this competition is so wonderful. It's about solving a maths equation. It isn't just about solving a maths equation or filling out a spreadsheet. It requires you to plan, to be analytical, to make decisions on which points to include, which content to keep and which to leave out. In fact, you are learning to design, structure, review and produce a piece of work from very brief instructions. And this is a life skill. This not only deepens your understanding of the subject, but you're also learning to be proactive in finding information and forming your own ideas. These are transferable skills that are required for the 21st century, and so this competition is an all-round test of many capabilities. I was also very pleased to see how many of you acknowledge the important role education plays in driving economic growth. In one of the entries, one of the awardees wrote, "It is unachievable for employment to be reduced and for poverty to be overcome without investment in education. It will take a generation or more to reap these rewards," and I couldn't agree more. She also highlighted the importance of preparing our workforce for the digital world and this is a major focus of our department currently through our e-learning program. We are currently piloting coding for implementation in the curriculum, something that is necessary for the fourth industrial revolution. I would like to thank Nedbank Corporate for your continued sponsorship and the Western Cape Treasury for offering competitions such as the one we are celebrating today. You are promoting and encouraging the improvement of these subjects and the skills developed through essay writing in our schools. I would also like to thank the district officials and economic subject advisors who played a critical role in ensuring that quality essays were submitted by the schools. To Head Office FET Curriculum for the continuous and committed driving of this project. Very importantly, I thank the teachers who have contributed towards your knowledge in these areas. Behind each of the finalists today, there was a teacher or teachers that have inspired their thinking and creativity in these fields. You are truly the backbone of society in many respects. Today, we wouldn't have an economy if it were not for your contribution towards developing the skills necessary to grow one. I would also like to acknowledge and salute the parents and guardians of these wonderful learners. Parental involvement in the education of our children is one of the most important elements of any school system. So today we say thank you for what you're doing to support them. To all on this platform who are working with us to ensure a quality education for every child in every classroom, in every school in the province, I say thank you. To all our students on this platform, please use this event as a launchpad to a greater future. Congratulations and well done to you all. I thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Walters. We now have our closing address from Mr. Remo Moyo from Nedbank. Mr. Remo Moyo possesses over 20 years of experience in relationship management in the public sector. Prior to heading the public sector team, Mr. Moyo was the head of various large corporations. He worked as an investment banker at Citibank and Barclay Capital, where he served as a resident vice president and director, respectively. We now welcome online Mr. Remo Moyo.
Thank you very much, Minister Mena. I observe protocol. And to our guests for today, the special students, congratulations. For yourselves to have come this far means already you are all winners. And you need to celebrate this. You need to be proud of yourselves. Hardships you may have come through to get into this moment. We are ever so proud of yourselves, and we are looking forward to yourselves becoming the future leaders of this country. You've heard from one of your predecessors, the colleagues that just spoke, Mr. Ncwele, say you're now going to be going to university and have fun, but measured fun. It's important to remain focused. It's important to achieve what you're going there for. On behalf of Nedbank, and Anel, thank you very much for the money. We'll keep asking for more. We are very proud to be associated with this initiative. It's something that talks to the core of what we believe in. It's something that talks to our future. It's something that talks to the future of the entire country. So we are indeed very proud to be associated, and we're looking forward. And I'll just nudge this one and say maybe we'll do it again next year, right? Indeed, we are going to be around. To the parents that help our youngsters to get through this, we thank you. We thank the commitment that you give. And most importantly, to the teachers, a job that I don't think personally ever gets celebrated enough or rewarded enough. We thank you for holding the future in the hands that you do, and the coaching and the guidance that you give to the students. It's something that we are very proud of as Nedbank. On behalf of the bank, thank you very much. And to our client, Western Cape Government, we're proud to continue putting the best foot forward to assist you so that we can be part of this. Back to you, meeting committee.
Thank you so much. Before I close, we will just be providing a brief overview of the next essay writing competition topic. The essay tasks involve critically analyzing the COVID-19 interventions which were undertaken during the global pandemic. This will specifically focus on the economic implications on the South African economy. The task will also involve providing recommendations to the South African government, specifically the economic cluster, on how to respond to the restrictions as imposed by the virus on the economy going forward. We wish all our students good luck in possibly undertaking that topic next year. And in closing, I would finally just like to thank all those that made today possible, especially to the Department of Provincial Treasury, Mr. Maynier, Malcolm Boyson, thank you so much for adjudicating that panel and also to making those funds available. We also thank Mr. Ncwele, a fellow graduate intern who has gone through the process for availing himself and providing us with a bit of wisdom and on his own experience there. We also thank the Department of Education, our team from Nedbank. Thank you so much for joining our session today and motivating our students on their future endeavors. We also thank our CEI team for making sure that everything ran smoothly today, and also, of course, the education staff and all those that have mentored our children and our students to this point. Thank you to all our esteemed guests here, physically and online. We thank you so much, and I will just end off with some wise words from our former President Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela, who said that education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. So let us change the world in a positive way. Thank you so much for joining us today.